Imagine walking into a kitchen filled with the smell of sizzling garlic, slow-roasted pork, and fresh plantains. That's the warm, mouth-watering welcome you get in a Puerto Rican kitchen during a family celebration. Preparing a traditional Puerto Rican feast isn't just about making food, it's about honoring tradition, communities, and generations of stories passed down through every bite. Today I'll be showing you how to prepare a traditional Puerto Rican feast, and in doing so, share the flavors, heart, and history of my culture. Let's begin with what makes a Puerto Rican feast so special: the food. Puerto Rican feasts are centered around flavor and meaningful dishes that bring families together. Some of the most iconic dishes you'll find include arroz con gandules, pernil, and tostones. Arroz con gandules is a seasoned rice dish made with pigeon peas and pork. It's often flavored with sofrito, a blend of base herbs and peppers. According to Wikipedia's page on Puerto Rican cuisine, sofrito is the foundation for many of the island's traditional dishes. Then there's pernil, a slow roasted pork shoulder marinated in garlic and spices, known for its juicy tenderness and crispy skin on the top. And tostones are green plantains, which are sliced, fried, then smashed, and then fried again for a perfectly salty crunch. These dishes are especially important during celebrations. Arroz con gandules and pernil are Christmas dinner staples in many Puerto Rican households. According to a 2022 article by Utah Public Radio titled Eating the Past, these meals are usually made in large batches to feed extended families and guests, emphasizing how food strengthens bonds during holidays. Even more meaningfully is how these meals are prepared, often a group effort with the entire family helping out in the kitchen just so you get that really big bonding experience. Each dish carries flavors and techniques that are completely unique to Puerto Rican culture. Most start with sofrito, that flavorful herb base. And Puerto Rican food is also known for its bold, garlicky, citrusy taste, a balance of savory richness and boldness. What's truly beautiful is that recipes vary across families and regions, meaning no two dishes are alike and ever quite the same. The variation is part of what makes Puerto Rican food so special and personal. For me and my family have different ways of making our traditional dishes that when I go and visit other family members, they might have a different way of making those dishes, which makes it so much more special when I have a bite of my family's dishes because it just reminds me of home. Now that we've talked about the dishes themselves, let's look at how they're actually prepared. So preparing Puerto Rican dishes requires time, love, and attention to the tradition of it. So starting with arroz con gandules, the ingredients are simple. You just need medium grain rice, the pigeon peas, sofrito, that seasoning, pork, and sazon seasoning. But the result is rich and comforting. You start by sauteing the sofrito and the pork, and then you add the rice and water, and you just let it simmer. If you cook it just right, the crispy layer forms at the bottom, and that's called bigao. And everyone in the family fights over it. We just love the bottom piece of rice. It is the best, the saltiest piece of the rice. Next is pernil, and you rub the pork with a marinated sauce with garlic, olive oil, oregano, and adobo, which is another very popular seasoning that we still use in my family today. Then you marinate it overnight and then let the flavor really get into it. And on cooking day, you roast it for a really long time until the skin turns golden and crispy, and you call that cuerito, and you can eat that by itself, and it's just skin. And that's the best part of the bending. And for the side dishes, tostones are usually made last because they taste best when they're really hot and they're really quick to make. And according to the post on Family Search called Traditional Puerto Rican Dishes to Add to Your Table, drinks like coquito, a creamy coconut eggnog, are typically served during the holidays. One of my favorite dishes. It's super easy to make and super amazing, but you really only have it during Thanksgiving and Christmas. And for dessert, you might like tembleque, which is a coconut pudding spiced with cinnamon on top. Absolutely amazing. And these meals are more than just a menu. They're a combination of timing, flavor, and Puerto Rican love. But these beloved dishes didn't just come out of nowhere. They're rooted in centuries of cultural blending and historical resilience. Puerto Rican cuisine reflects a rich blend of cultural influences and historical resilience, and as noted in Wikipedia, Puerto Rican cuisine is a blend of Taino, Spanish, and West African traditions. The Tainos gave us ingredients like cassava, yautía, beans, peppers, and sweet potatoes. Spanish colonizers brought in rice, pork, olive oil, cumin, and oregano, which are all the herbs that we still use in sofrito. And Africans brought through the transatlantic slave trade, introduced plantains, okra, and cooking techniques like frying, which a lot of our food is fried. So according to Utah's public radio, Puerto Rican food evolved through colonialism and adaptation. Meals like arroz con dulce, which originally used milk and raisins, were adapted with coconut milk, a resource more available on the island. And so despite foreign rule, Puerto Ricans made their food their own. It became a symbol of independence, pride, survival. Even today, food continues to play a central role in preserving Puerto Rican culture. Recipes are passed down orally, and no one measures anything. Your grandmother just happens to know it. Every family has its own twist on every classic meal, and making meals connects you with your family so deeply. And as Michelle Estados explains in her article from Boston University's gastronomy blog, even if Puerto Ricans don't always know the historical roots of the recipes, the emotional connection and sense of cultural identity remains powerful and deeply felt. So what did we cover today? You learned about some of Puerto Rican's most iconic dishes, how they're made, and why they matter so much. You've seen that preparing a Puerto Rican feast is more than just cooking. It's storytelling, it's love, it's memory, and it's our culture passed down from generations from all over the world. Through its vibrant dishes, Puerto Rican feasts tell the story of the island shaped by resilience, creativity, and deep community ties. Because in Puerto Rico, cooking isn't just about feeding the body, it's about nourishing the soul. I hope you leave here getting a better understanding of Puerto Rican culture, Puerto Rican food, and Puerto Rican roots, and to hopefully go out and maybe try some Puerto Rican food for yourself.